Okay, home stretch of learning to solve a Rubik's Cube. For this next part, I'm going to teach you two sequences, one of which I call the easy move and one of which I call the hard move. That's how it was taught to me, so that's how I'm teaching it to you. This is a solved Rubik's Cube, as you can see, and so I'm going to use the solved Rubik's Cube to show you how these hard moves and easy moves affect these bottom edge pieces, which should be the only pieces left to solve on your cube at this point. So I have a cube, it's solved. I have the orange side facing me, which allows us to see how the sequences we're about to do affect and move the four edge pieces on the bottom. So let's have a look at the easy move first, and you'll learn the sequence at the same time. And then what I'll do is I'll probably edit the video and have an unsolved set of these four edge pieces and show you how to use the hard move and easy move to solve the cube. It's a little tricky, and you're just going to have to kind of accept that this is the hardest part of solving the cube and that it will take some trial and error, most likely. But the more of it that you understand, the easier it will be. So we have a solved cube, orange side facing me. Let's do the easy move, and it's a sequence that goes like this: middle down, bottom right, middle back up, bottom 180, middle down, bottom right again, middle up. Okay, how did this affect the bottom of the cube? The orange side is still facing us, and the front edge piece is untouched, but the other three have all moved. And they've moved essentially in a clockwise direction. The blue one is now over here. The green one that was here is now down here. And the red one that was down here is now over there. But they've done things a little bit differently. The blue one, which shot across over to the opposite side, didn't do what I call flipping. Meaning that the blue square, which was initially on a side of the cube, is still on the side of the cube, whereas the green one that jumped diagonally across here did flip. The green square is now on the very bottom of the cube, on the yellow side. The same thing happened with the red one. It flipped and jumped diagonally across over this way. That's what the easy move does. If I were to do the easy move twice more, it would resolve the cube. It's like a three-part sequence. Because let's just take, for example, the red one. It would flip and move over here like it's already done. It would then move over here without flipping, and the red square would be here on the bottom still. And then it would move and flip over to here and thus be solved again. And I can demonstrate that. Do the easy move one more time, which is middle down, bottom right, middle up, bottom 180, middle down, bottom right again, and middle back up. The cube is still unsolved, but we're one easy move away from solving it. If we do a flip over to here, that'll solve that. If we do a flip over to here, that'll solve that. And if we do a move over to here without a flip, it'll solve that. Let's do it. Middle down, bottom right, middle up, bottom 180, middle down, bottom right, middle up. We have a solved cube again. I have the luxury of starting with a solved cube. Okay, so that's the easy move. You may want to write that down, the sequence, and also the effect that it has on those three edge pieces. Let's have a look at the hard move. The hard move sequence goes like this. Starting with a solved cube and the orange side facing us, hard move goes bottom down, middle down, bottom right, middle up, bottom left, middle down, bottom left again, middle up, bottom left again, middle down, bottom 180, middle up. What do we have? First thing to notice is that three of these edge pieces have moved, but the one that's untouched is on the right now. Okay, and they're moving in a counterclockwise direction. Okay, so red moved across this way, orange moved diagonally over here, and blue moved diagonally over here. And the flipping and not flipping pattern is different. The red shot across and flipped, orange moved diagonally this way and flipped, blue moved diagonally across this way and did not flip. So you'll notice that if we do the hard move twice more, it'll also solve the cube again, because red would go over to here and flip, so red would be on the side, and then red would go over here and not flip, and this would be solved. And the same would happen for the other two edge pieces. So let's do the hard move twice more and get it solved again. Hard move goes middle down, bottom right, middle up, bottom left, middle down, bottom left, middle up, bottom left, middle down, bottom 180, middle up again. The green remains untouched, and now we're one hard move away from solving the cube, because this would flip and go to here, this would flip and go to here, and this would not flip and go to here. Let's do a hard move. Middle down, bottom right, middle up, bottom left, middle down, bottom left, middle up, bottom left, middle down, bottom 180, middle up. And there you go. So now I'm going to edit the video. We'll go into an unsolved version of these 4 edge pieces. I'll make them all 4 be out of place and go through the process of how to solve it. Okay. Okay, so now we have an unsolved cube. All 4 of these bottom layer edge pieces are out of place. What I like to do is look at them and see if I can at least solve one of them. I can see one way to solve one of them, which would be to do, I think it's going to be 2 easy moves. Or, you could do one backwards easy move, and it would get this orange one here. It wouldn't solve either of these other 2. Remember, the easy move affects these 3. If you were to, start with the cube and look at it this way, it would move these 3 around, and it moves them clockwise. So the orange would move across without flipping, and then eventually move down to here with a flip, and it would be solved. Let's try that. It involves me starting with the red side facing me, just because, I've looked at it and seen that, and I just turn the cube back to this orientation. And so I'm going to do 2 easy moves. Middle down, bottom right, middle up, bottom 180, middle down, bottom right, middle up. Okay, I'm going to do one more. Middle down, bottom right, middle up, bottom 180, middle down, bottom right, middle up. And I have solved 1. Great. What the goal is, hey, if you can figure out a way to, just solve all 3, that's great. But if you can figure out a way to get just 2 unsolved, which are adjacent diagonally across from each other like this or like this, then you're home free. Then it's just a set of moves that will get you where you need to go. So I see that if I do 1 easy move, I can get the red one solved, but the green will be unsolved, and yeah, let's see. Oh, okay. Yeah, the green will go across and be unsolved because it won't flip, and the red will be unsolved because, or no, it will be solved. So that wouldn't work. Because the ones that would be solved would be across from each other. I'm sorry, the ones that would be unsolved would be across from each other. So when you're in a pickle like that, what I do is I turn it so that the 3 remaining unsolved are on the left, and I have a solved side on the right, which may remind you of the hard move. And that's what I do when I find myself in a pickle. I just get it oriented like that. Here are the 3 unsolved in this pattern, unsolved 1 on the right. I turn the cube like this, and I do a hard move. Middle down, bottom right, middle up, bottom left, middle down, bottom left, middle up, bottom left, middle down, bottom 180, middle up. I know that this one will remain untouched, and let's see what we got. It's a different pattern now. If I do an easy move, generally I use the easy move to move things around and try to get them where I want to be. I use the hard move to get myself out of a pickle where I can't figure it out. So I initially just figured out how to solve one, and that got me to a pattern where I have, the three, and then I kind of use easy moves to try moving them around, hard move to get me out of a pickle. And it's a good idea to get the cube oriented so that solved one is on the right before you do the hard one. Let's have a look at what happens if we do some easy moves. If we do two easy moves, let's see, it would flip, blue would be on the bottom, it would flip again, and this one would be solved, okay? Red would not flip, and then it would flip, and so it would be unsolved here. And then the green one would flip, green would be on the bottom, and then green would not flip and move over here. So these two would be unsolved. And what you'll notice is that every time that you get two diagonally adjacent unsolved edge pieces like this, they will actually be the corresponding color, but they'll just be flipped wrong. So let's see if that's the case here. I get my cube ready to do some easy moves. It's going to take two of them, I think. Middle down, bottom right, middle up, bottom 180, middle down, bottom left, middle up. Okay, I'm going to do one more. Middle down, bottom right, middle up, bottom 180, middle down, bottom right, middle up. And here I have only two of the edge pieces unsolved, and they are adjacent to each other, and sure enough they match that predictable pattern where it is the right color, it's just flipped incorrectly. If you run into a situation where you have two unsolved ones that are across from each other, I recommend getting them sort of vertically aligned like this with solved ones on your left and your right, and doing a hard move. And then you'll probably have three unsolved ones, and you'll go from there. But this is the goal, to get these two adjacent unsolved ones. And then you're home free. You just have to do a sequence that goes like this. You get the two unsolved ones so that they are away from you and to the left, if that makes sense. They are, on the far left corner from me. And then I would do a hard move, rotate the cube clockwise 90 degrees, and finish with an easy move. Okay, so I have it set up with those two unsolved ones away and to the left, and we're going to do hard move, rotate, and an easy move. So here's the hard move: bottom down, bottom right. I keep saying bottom down, I meant middle down, forgive me. So we'll resume. Middle up, bottom left, middle down, bottom left, middle up, bottom left, middle down, bottom 180, middle back up. And now I rotate the cube 90 degrees clockwise. And you can even look and see that things are ready to be solved by one easy move. So let's do it. Middle down, bottom right, middle up, bottom 180, middle down, bottom right, middle up. And that's the part where you just feel so amazing. And you take a picture and you show it to your friends, and then you scramble the cube up and you start all over again and practice some more. All right, folks, have fun and congratulations.